tear downs, investments, and the details on some Texas homes. I tell you, Candy Evans, one of the top real estate experts in our area, joining us now on the Post. You are Candy's Dirt. You've got this blog called Candy's Dirt, and I tell you, you come up with some of these great stories. You have a team that works with you,
Yes.
but you guys seem to be on the cutting edge of anything that has to do with the real estate market, right?
Oh, we totally are. And yes, it's a website now. Totally started as a blog. In fact, my license plates in pink say blogger, which is great, except everyone knows it's me driving around.
Yeah.
I have to
Right.
behave.
Well, and
Even
now
the
it's grown
podcast-
so much
yeah,
even
yeah.
on social media.
Yes,
It's taken
yes,
off. I
we
mean,
totally-
your account is huge at this point.
It's Dallas-Fort Worth, which we love because we love Fort Worth and we love all the real estate
Yes.
in this region, the whole North Texas region.
So let's get the business part of this
Okay,
out
yes.
of the way. What is the market like right now in the Dallas-Fort Worth area when it comes to housing? Is it the buyers? It is the sellers? Or are we seeing a change?
Yes, it's a little bit of both. Now, the funny story is I sold my house, we went through, it's traumatic. Selling a home is traumatic. And I've just experienced it because we sold a home. We've been in 26 years.
Wow.
And we built, so it was super traumatic. You know, I cried. I was a basket case the day we moved, you know. But, and we moved into another home. And my home is former home is a very good example of this market. An older home that I had, loved it and done everything perfect in the early 2000s. And then it really was in need of some help. It's just kind of like me, it needs a little help, little plastic
sure.
surgery here and there. And a lot of homes are like that. So what you have is if you have a home that is perfect, it's got all the ingredients being the location, the flow of the home, everything that people are looking for, those homes are flying off the market and they're getting multiple offers. The other homes, the trick is that they sit. Now, really good example, Preston Hollow Village over at Central and Walnut Hill Lane, they are selling those homes. People do not want a lot of maintenance either. They either want the big property or they don't. They don't want anything. And so those are selling, but the homes around them that were built in the 60s, if they're not renovated, and if they have low ceilings, that is the kiss of death.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do with low ceilings.
Unless you
especially
take it up.
If there's a second floor.
Yes,
then
exactly,
You're
exactly.
kind of stuck
Yes,
with that.
yes.
I think it's interesting now when we are talking about the shift in things. There's been a lot of talk about AT&T moving from Dallas to Plano. There's been a lot of talk about maybe the Dallas Stars are going to build a new stadium possibly at the Willow Bend site in Plano. So there's been a lot of shifting from like downtown Dallas area to some of the suburbs. Are you seeing that in real estate as well? And what does that mean for home prices in Plano?
Well, home prices in Plano definitely rival home prices in North Dallas now. I was in shock, was it about a year ago? I think it was in the spring, when I went up to Red Wolf to the $16 million home up there that I had heard about this home through my sources. It was, built for some mega billionaire guy. And I'd heard it's just like amazing. Well, it was on the market. And I went up there, and of course I pull up, and the realtor's a friend of mine, so he said, you can come at 11. I got a showing at 10. So I pull up behind the Porsche that has the people looking at it, and they come out, and they're young people. And I'm like, how can they afford this $16 million home? So I kind of, I sent it to a couple of friends in New York, said, this house is going to be here for a while, no rush. It was gone by Monday.
Whoa.
A $16 million
Are these
home.
people from out of state? that
No,
are
this
moving
one
here,
was
or
another
this is-
gazillionaire who invented some bubbly drink or something.
Another one of those.
Another one of
Darn
those.
it. Why
I
did I
know.
invent
A
a
bubbly
bubbly
drink. I
No.
know.
Wow.
And same thing with my home. I thought, we had someone look at our house from Portola Valley, which is where my son lives. So I was like, oh, great. And she was like, I love it. It's got trees. We kind of thought that's our buyer, right? Nope. It was a local person who read about it on Candy's Dirt.
Wow.
Yes. Isn't that amazing?
So when it comes to your account and sharing certain homes, you just mentioned, a source told you about the home.
Oh, I
the
have
16
sources.
So you have people who say, hey, you need to come look at this house and post about it. Or is it more people coming to you saying, hey, I'm trying to sell my house. Will you post about it on your page? Or it's kind of a mix there?
All of the above.
All of it,
In fact,
yeah.
we were out in the waiting room here with a realtor, and we got a couple of tips.
Oh,
right out
okay.
here. It happened
Yes.
right here. So, yeah,
Really?
it just have to be, you have to be engaged with your, with your sources.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of sources in real estate, and we know them all and love them all. And I also have a lot of respect for realtors. It's a tough, tough job. It's a really tough job.
Is that
Are you still very active in the buying and
Yeah.
selling with the
Is that how you
homes?
started?
No, I was at
Oh.
I started this all at D Magazine in
Oh.
print. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. And took it
Oh,
on my own.
okay.
called
Wow.
Dallas Dirt.
Oh, Dallas Dirt.
Dallas
to,
Dirt.
to Candy's
To
Dirt.
Candy's
You
Dirt.
owned it. Yes.
We still do a little bit of, well, we don't want to offend Fort Worth. That's
Right.
the thing.
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Because we love Fort Worth.
Right.
So we have some really unique homes, and
Oh, yeah.
you posted about this one home that is called a stick style Victorian, and I just did a deep dive into this post that you did. This is said to be, especially when you talk to the Historic Society, the
Is it
only,
green?
it's like this greeny kind of blue. Yeah, it
Green
is
and
the
orange.
only remaining historic stick style Victorian in the city of Dallas. It's on North Carroll Street. And what stick style, I had to, of course, Google what that means, is that like the exterior wood trim, like the stick work that is used on the outside of the house is just very special to it. This was built in 1855, and this house was actually moved at one point. It was on some different property, and then they used like horses and buggies and move the house to move it. So it's
Wow.
got all this history to it. But I would drive past this and be like, okay, it wouldn't stand out to
Right,
me. I guess
right.
maybe the color, obviously,
right.
but these are the stories
Right.
that you share that really make you look at buildings or houses differently.
Absolutely. And I love homes. I love real estate. Even as a kid, I liked looking at homes. It's kind of weird. But my poor husband, the minute we got married, I'm like, we're buying a house. Then we're buying another house. We just keep buying. But so I have on staff a fabulous Karen Eubank, who is she is obsessed and very much into preservation and historical homes. And I'm on the board of Preservation Dallas too. So you probably can tell where I stand on tearing down City Hall.
Right.
No way, Jose. But this is an example of one of the few homes that we have left in Dallas. We don't support our historic homes here enough, I don't think. Aldrich House is nearby, which is the Dallas County Medical Alliance home, which is another beautiful home that's historic. Now, I'm originally from Chicago, where we do keep our older homes and our older buildings, and we
Yeah.
love them and we treat them very well. And so I'm so happy that we have homes like this to write about. But yes, the labor is what's amazing. You think all those little sticks outside, those were put together by hand,
Wow.
which is
wow.
unheard of today. And it's a beautiful home. And yes, it was moved. A lot of homes were moved in the old days. You just put them on a trailer and move them. Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's interesting. So we have our historic preservation posts that we try to get in at least once a week if we can.
I love those stories.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite for
Thank
sure.
you.
But you go and you look at like someone preserving a house like that,
Right.
and then you go to the mansion that was
Oh, yeah.
the mushroom house, which
Oh.
I feel like was like the most iconic house in
iconic,
Dallas.
yes.
I
Like
know.
if you say what's the weirdest house you've ever seen, I'm guessing this was probably on most people's list if they live in this area. But that was bulldozed.
I know. Well, I've got a little background story in that. So when I was at D Home, I actually knocked on their door because we wanted to do the story of the house. And I'm one of those, reporters that'll go knock on the door and
Yeah.
be obnoxious and say, hi, can we
Yep.
do a story on you? And they had said to me, no, we are waiting for Architectural Digest.
Oh.
And they did tell me that, Tom Workman is an architect. And so I said, okay, I get it. Well, I'm here. If you, anything happens, call me. Here I am, Pretty soon I got a phone call from them because they were turned down by Architectural Digest. So we got to do the home, and I got to know them so well that I went to Jane Ann's funeral and really got to be good friends with them. And I was heartbroken because they told me about that home. They told me about the Japanese influence. Tom had spent some time during, I think, World War II in Japan. And there's a little bit of a Japanese influence
Yeah.
to the home. And she was an artist, and he wanted to create light spaces for her so she could paint, and he encouraged her to paint. They were a delightful couple, and it was very sad, when that came down. But I'm kind of getting used to it. I hate to say that, but I'm like, okay, there it goes. The problem is, I understand the builders when they go in to change something now is more expensive
Right.
than it is to tear down and
And
start
just
fresh.
build something
start
new.
over.
Right. So I really respect the people who have the money to go in and preserve and redo that because it takes more money.
Is
to
it
do
Right.
that.
because though our house prices have gone up so much that it's costs more to renovate than it would be to just,
Well, it's because of the cost of labor has gone up
cost
so
of
much.
labor. So the cost of labor has gone
Labor,
up. So now
right.
it's going to be harder, like the stick house, for someone to keep that in our area
Right.
than it would be just to have somebody come in and
Exactly.
renovate
Yeah.
it. So
Tear it
you think we're
down.
going to see more and more? I mean, we're seeing more. I think of like the Lakewood area.
Yeah.
I mean, they tear down houses left and right over there, and then they put up monsters
Right.
where they are right on the edge of the property.
Well, what's happening is we're coming to sort of a delta now in Dallas where land prices are so high
Okay.
that if you want a home and you want a new home, you're going to have to buy something for maybe $1 million, which is not unheard of, a piece
Yeah.
of dirt, and then build on top of it. So now we're coming to this point, and we really experienced this with our home, that people said, well, it's not this and it's not that. And I said, well, you know what? There's a lot over there you can buy for $3 million and throw another $4 million on it, and there's
Yes.
your home. Or you can buy mine and redo
Do
it.
what you want with it, right? Yes, yeah.
And so that's what works. Now you're seeing people go in, take these older properties, and if the flow is good, all they have to do is redo the surfaces,
Right.
redo
Right.
the bathrooms.
The
and they're
flow is
done.
we just recently bought a home and I have a toddler and
Yes.
everything's about the flow
Yes.
and my husband and I had some different ideas on what that meant
Yes.
for the home and it really was so hard because I love an old home and I
Yes.
wanted the character and then the rooms are all, tiny and separated and it wouldn't really work. So
closets.
the closets, the storage.
What did they
it was-
wear in the old days?
Where
I
were
mean,
they
must have
keeping
been
their
like
vacuum?
three
You know?
outfits.
Exactly. Yes.
So yeah, that
Yeah.
was tough.
No.
What are you seeing now as far as current trends or what people? I know we said the flow, but style-wise, what are people wanting?
Well, we're getting away from that stark, cold. We're going to a more of
Right.
a soft contemporary. I mean, brick is making a huge comeback, which I'm so glad. White
Yeah.
brick especially, even
Oh,
red
look, we're on
Yes.
trend, guys.
Yes.
Right, I was going to say that. This is so trendy.
Yes.
So brick is
Faux
coming
brick
back.
in here.
And you know what's so
Shh,
interesting?
Shannon, don't tell anyone.
Oh, yes.
You mean this beautiful? yes, of course. Yeah.
No, that is definitely making a
So
comeback.
soft.
Soft, contemporary.
Not the black and white.
Not the, and
look,
not
yes.
that.
The gray.
Stucco stuff
yeah.
that doesn't really last that long. It doesn't look pretty over a long period of time. We were definitely going to more of a, I think a little bit more traditional, a little more softer. Contemporary is still there. I have noticed, it's so funny, in moving, I've started looking at furniture. I don't need a lot. I'm saving a lot. It is made terribly now. It's
Yeah.
not made as nicely as some of the older pieces. So there is a thriving business of people buying and redoing older furniture. And it's really interesting that my kids love that. They like buying the older stuff. They don't
Yes.
mind buying that it's used. They will
Yes.
take it and do what they want with it because it's better made.
Yeah, we've had a couple people on the post already talking about how
The estate
antiques-
sellers and things.
Yeah,
Yes,
that
the
the
shoppers.
antiques are really coming back, and
Yes.
maybe instead of your grandmother saying, "Do you want this?" you actually say yes instead of like, "I don't want your old stuff."
Yeah.
Now
No.
it's like, okay, what? Let me see. Let me check it
Yeah,
out.
let me
Yes.
check it out. Exactly.
And then it does bring some more warmth and history
does.
to a home. You can even do
Yes.
that with just your furniture pieces. Too,
Absolutely. And I know there was a time when antiques were the kiss of death,
Right.
and it wasn't too long ago.
It
and
wasn't.
I'm so glad they're coming back. But so that warmth is coming back. But there's the classic things of flow, of being able to move easily from one room to another. I know with children, you want to have a room where they can do their thing and you don't necessarily see it everywhere because all the toys
Yeah.
and such. I remember those
They
days.
take over
I need a
the
door.
house.
Yes, yes. I do not want to see another
Door.
Hot Wheels. If I
Yes.
see that Hot Wheels again, I'm going to go crazy.
Yeah.
But, so you want to be able to kind of have that. You want your master to be, your primary.
The primary.
The primary. To be very, spacious and also be able to kind of have a little privacy there and all that. Bedrooms up and bedrooms down. There's a big controversy on this. I liked bedrooms up. It's really hard to sell homes, though, when you have the primary down and the bedrooms
Bedrooms.
upstairs because people, no, that's the perfect thing. It's hard with the bedroom upstairs, I should say, the
Oh.
primary upstairs, because people want it downstairs. But I liked being with my kids when they were little. I didn't want them coming down the stairs in the middle of the night and falling, when they were
Right.
having like a nightmare or something. Remember
Yeah.
that?
I'm a one-story girl.
Yes.
Every house we've lived in, I've tried to I think because of growing up, I was in a two-story house,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I just want everything on one floor. I just want,
Yes.
because I remember the up and down, the up and
Yes.
down.
So it's really interesting.
yeah.
So there, you'll find homes sometimes that kind of languish on the market that they don't have that downstairs, primary, but that is so important to so many people.
Interesting.
And then of course, dare I talk about popcorn ceilings? Oh my God, that is just kiss of death. Get rid of that stuff.
And it's easy to get rid of that,
Yes,
right?
just scrape it, before we move in.
Yeah.
So, but really, I like what you said about one-story homes, the ranch. Those are very popular and very well loved by people too, especially our generation who, because we bought a 3-story house. We're crazy, But, most people our age want the 1-story so they can live there without, falling when they're in a wheelchair,
When they're
whatever
older.
they do.
Yeah.
Whatever happens.
Thank you for sharing about all these homes. I think sometimes it's a building, but for a lot of people, their home is where their heart is. Like we always say. So
It's very important. And no one knows that better than me now after moving and
Yeah, I
going
bet.
through this tremendous separation.
best tip for someone who's going to be looking for a house or is going to be moving soon. Now that
My
you've just been
my
through it?
best tip, if you're looking for houses, do not be afraid to renovate. That is where you can find your best buy. You can go in. Most buyers don't want to do that, but let me tell you, you can go in and make it your own. If you're selling, my best tip is to make that home look as clean and fresh and modern as possible. That means painting. That means getting rid of those little diamonds in your primary bath that you may have in the marble there. Just get it all clean.
Clean.
It'll look better in photographs. Someone showed me a house the other day that had green walls, and I said, oh my God, please get rid of the green walls. Yellow walls, go white, off-white, very,
Is that
very
because people want to picture themselves in the
Yes,
home? So it needs to
absolutely.
be a blank canvas for them.
I had to store things. I had to get rid of all my photographs. I had to get rid of my husband's massage chair. Thank God. I
Well,
wish
at
we
least
would've
you
lost
get rid
that.
of the
Like,
husband.
sorry.
Get rid of the
Yeah.
husband.
I thought that's where you might be going with that one. I can't even. Thank goodness.
No.
All right, you and all your stuff, move out of here. We got to sell this house.
We gotta sell this house. Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much for being with us. Appreciate your insight,
you.
and thank you for sharing these stories about Dallas and Fort Worth. It's awesome.
It's
Thank
great
you.
real estate, great dirt.
Yes.
Great dirt. Love it.